Alrighty. So, hey guys, welcome to the session. Today is November 7th. It's 4:15 p.m. PST. Um, and then, so yesterday we discussed about the company and company code and why we have company and why we have company codes, the difference between internal reporting, external reporting, and then the org structure in FI, in CO, and then logistics part of it. Okay, and how they are being used and what is the purpose of it. So today we actually get into creating a company code, and then we also give you assignments yesterday for posting about 10 documents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that give you a good, it has to give you some good start and good feel of what, the transactions would look like in SAP. So SAP is a transactional system. It is not an analytical system. It is not a um, um, reporting system. Sorry, it is not an analytical system. It is just a transactional system, right?
Okay.
So all the day-to-day operations, all the transaction get posted into SAP. So that's why the operations are run in SAP. Now, like we mentioned, the company code is a legal entity. That is why do we need legal entity? Because it is a highest organizational unit in a reporting. Whenever you report to the IRS or external accounting, you need to have a company code, which is a legal entity. Okay, so that is called company code. So before we create a company code, first thing we have to do is we create a company. Okay, first thing is company is a group company. Under the group company, we create multiple company codes, right? So where do we go here? So we are using SAP ECC version. So we are not teaching S4 HANA. Um, um, but still, HANA, S4 HANA and then ECC6, the base is the same. The only thing is the table structures are different, and then there are about 8 to 10 features depending on the version we are using in HANA, even 1809 or 1708. There are things that are different, but we are only doing ECC6 for this purpose, okay, for this session. So first thing is definition. You go to financial accounting, okay, because we are working in enterprise structure. So enterprise structure, that's why we saw yesterday about the org structure. In the org structure, we covered what is a company and what is a company code. So first thing we do is define company. Okay.
Okay.
So let's call it anything. Okay. The numbers are already created, but the company is usually a four-digit character. Okay. So if you look at 1567, they look really ugly, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do this. I would usually put a four-digit character. Usually, I would rather do this. Okay. For example, VRIT1. It's actually five-digit character. Okay. VRIT tech. Right? It's a five-digit character. If you put, some people just put one, what happens? It looks really ugly.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't look, we have to make sure that they all stand out. So VRIT tech. So this is a character, and then VRIT tech INC, name of the company. If you have a name of company too, like doing business as, like DBA, or if you want to call this or something else, I can put the name. Otherwise, you just leave it empty. Now you put the street address and all this stuff. 6257 444 Hill Boulevard, Suite A, postal code, I guess 91402, city Tacunga, country US, and so on. Language key EN, and currency is US dollars. Great. Now this is the company I'm creating. Okay. Now I'm going to save this. Now when I save this, what's going to happen is okay. Now what happens is this is a configuration. What I'm doing now, I'm doing a configuration. Now I create this. I'm going to save this. Okay. What I'm doing, I'm saving this. When I save this, how system would know, how system would keep track of all the changes, right? It cannot just like that save, right?
Right.
It has to keep track of changes. Okay. What is the change? Who is changing? What time this is changed? And which tables they are stored, and stuff like that. Okay, let's do this. I'm saving this. When I save the system will ask for a customizing request. This is very important.
Okay.
Okay. Right. This is very important. Look at this. This is a customizing request. This is a table name. View maintenance data. This guy is storing this information is getting stored in table T880.
Okay.
This table is getting stored in T880. Okay, how do I, because how do I know this shows here T880 as the table, this is storing, number one. Number two, it is, it is creating a transport request, which means the request is being stored in this number. Okay, the request is being
Okay.
stored in this number. So EH7 is your system ID, which you know here from here. And then K900441 is the, it's a sequence number.
Okay.
Okay, right? Basically, why it's saying number range changes because it was existing request. We just kept on storing here. I can create a new one. See here. So I click here. So in SAP, you will see the screen very often. This icon. This icon means create. This is display.
Gotcha.
Okay, and this for attributes. So I'm going to create a request. Now system will ask all this information, what I'm trying to do. So let's say I'm in a project, I'm working on a project. So all the configuration which I am doing, I can store in one transport request so that my manager can review, right? My manager can review and said, okay, he can check, he can go and run the SC10 transaction code. I will tell you how. He can look at, okay, what are all the configuration that Afzal has done. He can put my user ID and review it, whether I did correctly or not, correct? And I can also check my team if they did correctly or not, right? So I'm going to put this as project VRIT. Okay. Now the project, you just leave it empty. Now look at this guy here. Owner is me. Status is just new. I'm just creating it. And then look at the target system. Why it says QH7? Now I'm mentioning EH7. Why it says QH7? So EH7 is the development system. Once I make the changes, the changes will transfer over to the quality system.
Okay.
That's why it's a Q. Okay. So in actual, if you go and work in a company, your if you go and work in a company, your login pad would not look very thin like this. It will look very busy. It will have a lot of servers.
Okay.
20, 30 servers or 4,700 servers. They have a lot of systems. That's called landscape. It's called system landscape. Why? Let's say you want to make a changes, you don't directly go and change in the production system, right? You will change this in the test system, and then you test it, and then you do a FUT, functional unit test, and then you upgrade the system. Sorry, I'm sorry, my mind. There's somebody keep on messaging me. I'm really sorry. My mind is just stuck there. See, so come on. Okay, I told her not to message me. Right. So if you, this system will look really busy. So how busy? I'll show you something.
Okay.
SAP logon pad. Okay. You see here, SAP logon pad 730 version. This is how busy they are. Okay. You will have multiple systems. Today, we only have one system ID, which is EH7 that we are working on. EH7. But here, look at this. There are a lot of system IDs here. B93, AU0, AU0, AU1, 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 B42, B42, CR3, what they are, right? So that's called landscape. Okay, if on the below on the left hand side here, they have several systems for specific functionalities. Okay, this for just for ABAP they get one system, and so on. Okay, this is how they configure, and so on. Okay, so don't get hang on it. But when you actually walk, the reason I'm giving this idea example is because when you actually go in a company, people, you will see lots of system and you get confused on which one you will use. Okay, so that's why they usually they give a system landscape. Okay, your SAP they will give you a system landscape. So what is system landscape? System landscape will tell you how many system they have. Okay, and then what is the use of the system landscape. For example, the simple one could be like this, which I am going to show you here. Okay, this is going to YouTube. Okay, this is a very system landscape, which I'm just showing you, right? The first thing is development system, and then quality, and then production. Some companies, they have one more here for, let's say, development regression testing. Okay, so development is where you make all the changes. Once you make the changes, then you transport, you request, you implement the request from development to QA system, and they test again there, and then move to production system. Okay, how this happens? This is through the change management. Today, a lot of companies uses different change management tools. Solution Manager, Charm. There's multiple change manager, ServiceNow, and RevRack, and there's a lot of different third-party system, third-party tools they use to monitor to track the changes. Okay, just stay there. If you have any question, please ask me. But otherwise, we will just go to the next step. So again, we are here. So what I was trying to do, I'm trying to create a transfer request on my own. Okay, why it's empty here? Because this is a system generated. System automatically generates a number. Okay, so I'm going to save this. See, I got a new number. EH7K900453. Now the the table is the same, 2T880. Okay, now all the configuration tables starts with T. Okay, anything that you do in SAP, anything that you post, okay, when you enter the data, they all go and store in a database, right? Now, when it's a database, there is a RDBMS concept, there's a transparent table, there's a structure, relational database, a lot of things. Okay, so when you see the T here, that means a transparent table, configuration table. It's a straightforward table. It's one single table, which means it's just one single row, like one Excel spreadsheet. Okay, with the columns and rows. So once you save the data, this data will store into this table like in a one single row, which we will see. Okay, great. Again, all the configuration table starts with, all the configuration data table starts with T.
T.
Okay, great. So I'm going to save this. My data is saved. Now tell me, where can I go and see the data?
Display.
So I can come back here, right? Okay, I just created a company code company here. Look at my position, VRIT. It's right there. I created this. I double click here. It takes me to additional information. If I want to copy, I can copy it, then create another one. Okay. Now, in the back end, like I said, it stores in a different table. The configuration is stored in a table, which is, what is the table name? Guys, you have to write it down.
Yeah.
Okay. It's T880 table. So you have to write it down. Please write it down. Make it a practice. Okay. Make it. I really request you. Okay. Now.
Okay.
So how can I go and look at the table? I'm opening another session. See here. I click here. It opens another session. All the tables you use transaction code SC16N. Okay, write it down, SC16N. This is a very powerful transaction code. As a matter of fact, when you go and work in a company, you will not have access to this. Okay, you will not have access to this. The transaction code, you will not have access to this because anybody can somebody tell me why?
You can change data.
Sorry?
You can alter it or something, alter some data.
Correct. Yeah, you cannot access all the data, right? Because if you give SC16 access, this transaction code, you can pretty much access all the data.
Mm-hmm.
So you will find out how much your CEO is getting paid, right? Right? How much the company, pricing the product and all this stuff. It's sensitive information. You could sell to somebody. So they generally don't give you access for this transaction code. Okay. So what is the table name? T880.
Right.
Okay. So I hit enter. This table has all these fields because this table stores company, name, country, which all language which we created, PO box, postal code, currency, right? We did all this. Okay. It creates all the data. Now I'm going to execute this. I click execute here. Total number of hits 230. 230.
Okay.
The 230 entries are created. It's already existing in this table. Okay. Now where is mine? VRIT. If I scroll this down, I will see it all the way down because the numbers comes first. The alphabets comes in the last.
Okay.
My system is slow here. Right? So VRIT tech. I have this information. So the table access is very important. Okay. Because some of the times when you don't have a report to generate the data that you're looking for, you can go back to the table. Right?
Okay.
Now you can actually right click and download this data too into spreadsheet. Okay. Then if I have multiple tables, I can download the multiple spreadsheets. I can put together a report, right? Doing a VLOOKUP. So Kevin, how good you are? I'm pretty sure you're very good in Excel, right?
Pretty decent, I'm sure.
Okay, so you can do VLOOKUP, pivot, right?
I've done them. It's been a while, but I'm familiar with it.
Okay, so we saw that. Okay, this stores in a table. Now the transport records that we saved. Now I saved the transport request, right? Anybody remember the transport request? Nobody? Now I can go and find out where the transport stores in. Okay, let's do this. So again, it stores in a different table, right? SE16.
16.
What's table name?
T880.
T880.
This, I forgot the table name. Anyways, let's come back here. So how do you display the transport request? SC10, transaction code SC10. Write it down. SE10. See, transport organizer. You know, the number I created, the EHK7, EHK00943, that is called a transport number. Okay, that's called transport number. Now I can go and look at my transport record. Transport, all the transport records. I go here. If I know the transport request number, I can put display. I can put it here. Okay. Otherwise, if I want to see everything that I created, okay, I can just hit enter. It brings up all the transport requests I created. See?
Okay.
User, hit enter. It comes with all the transport I created. So which one I recently created is this guy. Here, I think. Oh, yes, different company. This is the one I created, I think. Is this one? what do you call this? Afsal, I didn't take it down. I did not write it down. This is the one, right? Do you remember?
Oh, sir.
Okay, that's fine. So this is the one I created. Define company is my activity, right? So I can look at all the details I did. So somebody can track my changes, what I actually did. Okay. So when you go work in a company, your team lead will come and say, okay, can you do the configuration? Send me the transport request. Okay. Send me the transfer. When I double click here, okay, view maintenance data. This is the table. It stores the information. What information it stores? The VRIT tech, which I created, it stores here. Okay.
Okay.
And 454 is my children for my child task. 453 is a parent task. So I can keep on adding more tasks under this. Okay. Now, depending on which one I want to implement, I can implement the request in sequence. I don't have to implement 454 because let's say this is not ready yet, but there's some other changes coming in. I can do that change first and then implement that first. Okay. How does it work? You don't have to worry when I say implement. How does it happen? You will get to know. When you go in a project, you can actually ask how this change management works because every different company have different change management procedure. Okay. That's
So if
approval.
so if your manager asks you to run this for this data, how do you do it? Just come here. How do you
What was the question?
request it? Yeah,
What?
when your manager asks you to run this pull this data up, how do you request it? Just come here. How do you export it to them?
Oh, this report, basically you just give him this transport request. You just give it to him. Okay. You tell your manager, open Excel spreadsheet, open your Outlook and say that, hey Steve, I created this transport request. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So for example, let's do this. I'm not sending this. I discussed, now you write all this stuff. Please find attached. Please find my transport request for the changes. Okay, whatever it is. Sorry, I'm just,
Right.
when I share something, it's difficult to type.
Sure.
So you put this guy here, and then you want also, you may also want to put the, you may also want to put the screenshot of this. Generally I use this snippet. Okay. Copy. Okay. So kindly check and approve. Okay. In order to implement in the upstream system. Okay. Now look at this guy. Now you did this, but did you put the address correctly or not? How do you know? Right? Did you put the postal code correctly or not? How do you know? The manager has to go and check. So what I would do, I will also send the screenshot of this guy. What did I do? Okay, I will also send the screenshot of this. Make sense? So that he knows that this is the detail I created. Okay. Or another, what is it? Also, there's one more way to do this. What's another way? I can send this table details, right? I can go to the table and show him that, hey, okay, what's the table name?
T880
T.
or
T880. Why it's called, why it's T? Because the configuration table, right?
yeah,
Right. I can also send this information to him. See, I created this. Okay. So the varieties of ways to make sure that he has, just to prove that I created this. I can also put the screenshot from the table. Okay. Now I'm going to send this. I'm basically asking for approval. Okay. And then if you have testing document, you can also add the testing document. Find attach the testing document, which I did. Okay. Let's say, why do you attach a testing document? Let's say you want to post some document in this company code and all this stuff, then you can attach a testing document. But here we are just creating the template. You're not going to post anything. The screenshots will be fine. I'm going to send it to him. Okay. Right. Now going back to the configuration, next step is once I create company, what's underneath? Company code, correct? The next step is company
Yes.
code.
Yes.
Because the legal entities, I'm going to create legal entity and assign to the company code. So generally what happens is people do not create a company code. What do? They just copy. Okay, even in actual production, they copy one company code to another company code. Make sense? Because creating a company code is a lot of, it just takes a lot of effort. So generally what they do, they find a company code which is very close to your operations. Basically the language, the currency, the country code, if they are the same, you can basically copy from them. Okay. Make sense? So I'm going to copy from. So let's say I'm, when you create a company code, you probably definitely have a reference, right? You will not just go there and, blindly create one. So usually we create as a reference. So it's 17% of associated tables read. It is still working on this. I have this business internet service. It's supposed to be really, really fast, but does not help.
know that feeling.
Still working on it. Still 17%. Okay, it's moving. Yes. See here, when I copy, it says from which company code to which company code I'm going to copy. So we are working on 333, issue 333. Now I can define this VRIT1. Basically VRIT1. It says VRIT, but I'm sure the people have created VRIT left and right. So yeah, data already exists. Some no. So I'll create VRI2, I3. only copy the GL accounts if you want to allocate the same chart of accounts or target company code, source company code? Do you want to copy the GL account company code data as well? So basically the system is asking that, do you also want to copy the general ledger accounts from that system, 333 company code as well? Okay, if we do that, the chart of accounts will be the same. Okay, what I'm doing is, do you want to copy the GL account company code data? I said no. Okay, the reference company code is local currency euro. Do you want to allocate a different local currency target company code? Yes, because this currency in euro, I want to, my currency should be US dollars. Put US dollars. Certain days was not copied. I don't care. There are inconsistencies in ledger profits and accounting. That's okay. But again, don't bother because in your life you will not create a company code. I can bet. So like I said, most of the time, 70% of the time you work on a production support implementation. See, when you copy company code to company code, it copies a lot of data because company code is huge, right? It's a main thing in SAP financial accounting because all the relevant data is based on company code. Everything is based on company code. So it captures a lot of tables. Okay. So it takes time. All right. So, now if I want to create a different transport request, I can do it. I keep company in one, company code in different transport request. So if I want to do this, I can create a new one, but otherwise I'll just check. Okay. Okay. Yes. Again, yes.
So all this data, along with the previous data, would be up under that same code,
The previous,
right? Under the same, you're gonna be under the same request code.
yeah. I
Okay.
did not create a new one. I'm just adding everything into the new one. See,
Perfect.
it's asking all the, it asks a lot of, yes or no questions. So I've just hit enter. I know what they are, but it's just not super important. They just caution, with respect to number range. Okay. Now it's copied to company code 33 is copied, right?
Got it.
Now this is it. Now I created the company code. I'm going to close this guy. Now I can go and look at my company code here. Okay, so now go back here, same place, edit company code data. Now I already created VRI3. I'm going to look at this. Position, VRI3. This is the one I created, right?
Right.
I can change my name here because this is copied from the previous one. Okay, now city, I'm going to change this to Los Angeles. Save. Now you can also open this address details. It opens up other huge screen, big screen where you can add additional details. Okay, so I can update them here again. US, regions, California is PST, and then this is VRIT training, so on. And then I can look at the preview if you want to do it. All this I can enter. If I don't want to do it, I just hit the save button. It's saved. Okay. Again, I put in the same transport request because I don't want to implement them separately. I'm going to implement them on a same one in one change. Then, similarly, you can create the different business area. Okay. You can define functional area. Okay. See, I can create a business area or I can copy here. Copy business area. Okay. See, what did I do? Copy. Okay. Business area, these days, people are not using it. SAP will kill this business area in the future because they have too many segments, too many divisions, too many, objects to manage different businesses, different line of businesses, different units. So this just becoming redundant. SAP probably is going to kill. Okay. Now we check the company code. That's all we need to do. Next one is assignment. So SAP is all about create, definition, and assignment. Okay. So we define this. We define a company and company code. Now assign company code to company, right? We are creating a link. Okay, this is my company code here. VRI3. Okay, here I'm going to link my company to company code. Make sense? You can have more than one company code assigned to same company, right? So under the one branch, one group, you can have more legal entities. But here I'm creating 1:1 relationship. So mine is VRITK, I think. VRITK. EK. Yes. Okay, now I'm going to save this. System would ask me whether you want to store this in the same. Every time I make changes, system is smart. It's asked me whether I want to save this data or not, right? Same transport. Look at this. Here, the transport number is different. I mean, the table number is different. Okay?
Right.
Because it's assignment. It is not actually configuration, right?
Yep.
I'm not configuring, I'm just assigning. Configuration basically I'm creating this, but I didn't create this. It is actually storing here. But however, it is storing in, I know T is a 001 table. I can show you. Great. So I created this. Now the rest thing is, you can assign company code to credit control area, assign business area to consolidation area. All this is not very important. Let's not go to this, but you can look at whether we have a credit control area assigned to our company or not, because we copied from 333, right? So VRIT, VRI3. Yeah, it's not assigned yet. So you want to assign this, you can assign this, but let's not go there to the credit control area. That's all you need to do. Next thing is we will look at the our global settings. Okay, so far you were able to follow, right? So we define the company, we define the company code, we copied it, and then make sure we change the addresses and everything, and then we go to the global settings. This is very important. Okay, global settings. What is global settings? So financial accounting, I believe it's here. Global settings. So this is a very important settings in SAP. Why? We will see. So I went to financial and global settings. I open this guy here. I think my internet is really slow. I don't know why. It's really, really slow. Okay, so I went to financial accounting global settings. I go to enter global parameters. So wait, this is very important. What is global parameters, right? Let's see. Okay, so what's my company code? VRI3. Since I copied from other company code, it already have all the details. Okay, so look at this guy here. Company code global data. This is also called global parameters. Okay, so my company code is VRI3, right? It is country code US, and then its currency US dollars, language case this. We know this. Okay, now chart of accounts. What is chart of accounts? Where does this come from? Because this get copied over from 333 company code. Okay, my company is VRIT Tech, VRIT TC, which we created this. Now there's one chart of accounts here, 333. There's another country chart of accounts, another thing is 333 here. And there's a fiscal year variant 333 here. So what they are. And then there's a posting period variant 333 and the field status variant 333. Okay, so we can actually go them and create a different one and assign, but we don't have to. We can just basically check what is the use of them. Okay, what they are, we can check. So what I request you do this, when you create this, when you copy this, okay, take them down. What they are: field status variant, posting period variant, fiscal year variant, what they are. That's what we're going to see today in the next 15 minutes. Okay, so I got this. My data is created. Again, you can click on the additional data here. Okay, and then there are additional parameters. This is all detailed tax entry with the Miro. I am exactly not sure what it is. Tax rate for country currency. Basically, if you're very curious, obviously you'll be curious. You can press F1. Okay, which is function F1 help, and then you will see any information that you want to learn from here. What is the use of this? Okay, but this is not very helpful. So far, good. Okay. Now, like I said, the three things we're going to see. One is field status variant, posting period variant, and fiscal year variant. What they are. Okay. Right. So fiscal year variant. What is fiscal year variant? What is called fiscal year? So when you operate a business, what do you exactly call fiscal year?
Is the business's is that the business's calendar year?
Yes, the business could be in a calendar year, or business not necessarily in a calendar year, right? When I say calendar year, is January to December is a calendar year.
Right.
But some businesses, they don't do calendar year. They can do businesses from April to March. Typically in a lot of other countries, mostly Commonwealth countries, I believe. So they all do. Some countries, they do April to March, like India. Okay. So they do businesses from April to March. But still, when this situation, their fiscal year, they switch to 2 calendar years, right? For example, 2019 to 2020. They start 2019 April and then they go over to 2020 March. Okay. They go over to 2 calendar year, but the fiscal year is still 2019, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, your school year. The school starts in
August.
let's say August. It goes over until let's say April or May, right?
May,
Something like that. So they don't follow calendar year. Some companies follow calendar year, some companies don't. So how do you define this? So when you open a legal entity, you basically tell the government that what is your fiscal year, from when to when you operate the business, and then how you close the books. When you close the books, what you call as a year closing. Okay, that's called fiscal year variant. So that you will see here. Okay. This is called fiscal year. Maintain fiscal year variant. What is called a variant, right? In SAP, everything you define and collect and then create a variant as one short, like a variant and assign to other object. So variant is basically a carrier of information. Okay, you maintain a lot of information and create a variant and assign that variant to one object. That's called variant. So I'm going to open this guy here. Maintain fiscal year. Okay, so in order to learn this, it will take a couple of days for you guys to learn and create this. It will be challenging, it will be interesting, but I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to show you. Let's say we have calendar year. What's our calendar year in 333? Do you remember?
That's in
3-3.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, it is 3. Everything is 3-3. Remember?
Right, I remember that. I remember something was 3-3.
Exactly.
Fiscal, yeah.
Exactly. I saw everything is 3-3-3.
Yeah,
3-3-3, right? 3-3-3. 3-3-3. Everything 3-3-3. So what is 3-3 here? Fiscal year variant. When I come back here, I go to fiscal year variant.
Okay.
This is called 3-3-3. They said April to March, 4 special periods. Okay. So this is running from April to March. Okay. How do you know? Not from the description. I can put anything here, right? Not from the description. Here, when I go and open the periods here, I select this. So this is what I do. I select 3-3-3. I open this. Here they specified. Okay. What is my month? This is a calendar month. Period 1, period 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in my fiscal year, what do I call it? I call April as period 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I call May as period 2, right? And so on. Correct? This is what we do. And then you also define number of days in the system. Okay. Why? Because like I was telling Afsal today, in Muslim countries, they follow only 30 days. They don't put 31 days.
Okay.
Right? They follow 30 days calendar. So SAP gives opportunity to configure pretty much anything. Now, what is called year shift? Okay. So when this goes over 2 years, because right now when you start in April, your period 10 goes into next year, right?
Right.
So you
Yes.
basically put year shift plus or minus. This actually should be +1 because it goes into next year.
Right.
Make sense? Somebody put wrongly. This should be +1. I may be wrong. You can check. Okay. This is how we define the fiscal year. Okay. Now, if you say year dependent, so which means it changes every year. So which means you have to come and change this every year. In some, let's say leap year, right? You have 4 days, 1 day more. Then it becomes year dependent. Because in every year, the things changes, right?
Okay.
So, but if you do a calendar year, we don't have to do anything. It's automatically from 1 to 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, right? If you select calendar year. But unfortunately, we are doing April to March, so we are doing this configuration. Okay, I'm going to save this. Enter, save. I don't know why it's not saved. Oh, because this is already being used. I cannot change this now. Okay, sorry. This is being already used. I cannot change this. That's why. So I don't want to save. So no. Okay. So let's take one fiscal year, which is a calendar year. Okay. For example, calendar year, right? This should be the one. Let's open this guy here. Yeah. If you choose calendar year, you don't have to maintain anything. See?
Right.
Because system automatically takes January as period 1, right? Make sense?
What is the meaning for the special periods? Is that the 13th month or something?
Correct. So number of posting periods 12, which you know. Special periods are basically, let's say you close the books in December. Okay. When you close the books in December, you keep like 3 or 4 special periods open the next year so that you can still come back and post into 2019.
Perfect.
Okay. This is usually used for auditing purposes because next when even though you close the books in December, okay, there are a lot of adjustment entries you still have to make in December. So they will continue to do this until like 2-3 months. Like they calculate the bonus, the tax, all this they will, even though they book the accruals for the tax, they book the accruals for bonus, like CEO's commission, incentives, everything, but these are estimated. Like in March and April is when they will exactly know how much they spent, right? If they're giving a bonus to employees for 2019, it should be booked in 2019, correct?
Right.
So
Correct.
they will come back and make the adjustment postings into 2019. So at that point of time, the special periods are used. So they use the special periods, let's say 13 or 14 or 15 or 16. Okay, when they do that, system will still post the entries back into December, but it will separately show us a posting special periods so that you will
Okay.
know these are special period adjustment postings.
All right. But in this case here, they only gave one special period.
Correct.
So,
It's exactly.
okay.
Yeah, they have to give. So usually they give 4, but
Mhm.
you know, this is somebody gave just 1.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm I don't like this 333 because we are running in the US. I don't want this April to March. So I can go back and change my fiscal variant to 01. Right?
Okay.
Make sense?
It does.
So this also shortened fiscal year. I was telling Afsal. Afsal, can you tell me what is called shortened fiscal year? Why do we need shortened fiscal year?
I need one. Quarters.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's because of the nature of the business. Some
Okay.
businesses like agriculture and all,
Mhm.
they only do for maybe 6 months or 5 months or 7 months.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's one of the reasons.
Okay. But shortened fiscal year means, let's say it's a seasonal businesses, right? Like agriculture. They don't run their business entire throughout the year.
Right.
So they can have a shortened fiscal year. So they can only have 5 periods or 6 periods. Even they get 12 periods, but they can call 15 days as one period. It's really up to them.
Right. Okay.
So all this is possible. You can create them here. Great. Now I'm going to assign the company code to a fiscal year variant. Okay. So now my company code is VRIT.
Thank you.
No, VRI, I think 3.
3. Yeah.
I'm going to assign this to 01. Okay. Now it's a calendar year. Save.
Huh. Okay.
All right, great. Now I'm going to, my now periods, my January is period 1, February is period 2, December is period 12. No confusion.
Right.
Right. And next thing is in here in the global parameters, I'm going back here. My VRI3. The another thing which I'm going to change here is, now see my fiscal year already changed in my global parameters. I'm going to work on the posting period variant. Okay. Posting period variant. What is posting period variant? Okay. So posting period variant is basically very important in a way that in a book closing, right, you control which GL account you could post into this current month or not. So for example, in a typically what happens, right, purchase order posting. So when you receive invoices, when you receive good receipts, right, let's say the factory receives the goods and they may just take some time to post the good receipts in the system. Okay. Now, let's say they receive the goods or they receive the invoice on the 31st of December or 20th of December. Okay. So if they don't update to the system, okay, it is not good because you have to capture the transaction as and when it happens, right?
Right.
You cannot just keep the invoice and post it tomorrow, post it next month. So that's why you really have to post it. If you want to, if you just forget it, you cannot post it next month because the transaction happened in December into 2019. So that's why the book closing is very important. So people control the book closing, make them very disciplined to make all the adjustment posting, cost allocations, depreciation posting, everything as and when it happens, as and when it occurs. Okay. So for example, another reason is, you know, the quarter close is a big thing in all the companies because CEOs have a target, right? Sales target, that target, this target. So for the January to March. Okay, so they have to post all the sales into this quarter. So quarter closing is a big deal. Okay, so before March 31st, they should make sure all the sales, whatever they have to make, whatever they're selling is, they have to get them recorded into March.
Right.
Okay, so if they think again I can post into next month, no, because CEOs are working hard to capture the sales, right, as much as possible into the quarters, into the as and when it happens. So they have to be very disciplined. Similarly, good receipts, okay, invoice receipts, you cannot post them because why the reason is you have to show the expenses in the month of March, for example, the month of November. Now I want to make sure I want to make sure I capture all my expenses. I capture all my good receipts. I capture all my expenses, all the cost allocations I receive from other cost centers and so on. So you have to make sure that you close the books on time. How do you close the books? Basically, closing the GL accounts or restricting the GL accounts to be posted into next month. Okay, so today now is November. I cannot go back and post anything into October because the GL accounts are closed for posting into October. How do they do this? That is called that's controlled by posting period variant. Okay. So I'm going to go document posting periods. So define variants for open posting periods. So this is very simple. I can just create one. Okay. Again, I can create one for VRIT. VRIT posting period. Already exists. So we'll put three. Shit. Sorry.
Bro.
So let me try to create a copy. VRI. Save. When I save this, it is going to store in this table. See, T table, T0100. It's a different table. Okay. So these are T88, T001, and then T0100. Save this. Now I created this. Now open and close posting period. Now whenever I create I have to assign this to company code. I just created this, right? Okay, I'm going to assign this. So my company code is VRI. So I'm going to assign this to VRI, which I just created. Save. Again, see, this is a different table. Whenever you assign, that goes to 001 table. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, I created this. Now, if I go to my global parameters, I will see different information now. See, the posting period is where it's changed. So I change the fiscal year variant. I change the posting period variant. Now, what does it do? How does it control? Okay, so let's go back to open and close posting periods. So this is where you look at this busy screen here. This is where people control how you want to post to GL accounts. Okay. So now, now we are going to step into like some serious concept. ADMKS. Remember this. ADMKS. What they are. Kevin, do you know this? Have you come across this before?
Yeah, I forgot this though. I mean, what is it? The plus is everything. I forget.
Okay, so that's okay. So A for here, open this guy here. A for assets, D for customers, K for vendors, M for materials, okay, S for GL accounts, and V for contract accounts. And when you say plus, it's for all the account types. Okay. So this is a very important concept. assets, customers, vendors, materials, GL accounts. Okay. So this is how they control the GL accounts from here. So, so what's my variant? My variant is VRI3, which won't be here because I just created VRI3. It won't be here. Okay, it won't be here. I'm going to create. Okay. VRI3. Now account type. Okay, here for all the general ledger accounts, for example. Okay, for S accounts. I don't want anybody to post general ledger accounts into last month or future month. So they can only post into from account, all the GL accounts from period only posted in November 11, 2019. Okay. So from account to account, I don't have any account so far created yet. Okay. So I'm going to put all the accounts, which means ZZZ. When I put 0 to ZZZ, right, it takes all these accounts. Make sense?
So you can put that down, and that will work. It won't affect anything. Mm-hmm.
Which one? This one, 0 to ZZZ?
Yes.
It will open for all. Once let's say I want to better control it, I can break it down. Let's say I create like 1,000 accounts. I can come and put the ranges, right? Some accounts I can post into October as well. You know, just very sensitive, less sensitive. I can keep them open for October. Okay. And so on. So this is only for yes. Now I'm going to create VRI3 or let's say vendors. Okay, from zeros to same thing, 0 CCC. I can let them post into November 2019, maybe to October as well, not last month. Okay. Similarly, VRI3 and let's say data. I'm just giving an example, right? Let's say, you know, I can let them post into last month as well. Let's say, you know what? That's okay. Let them post into last month as well. In actual matter of fact, no, but this is just an example I'm giving. So this is wrong. Okay. Similarly, you can create for assets. Okay. And you can also create for all. Okay. This is going to T001B table. Again, it's a customizing table. Great. Okay. So what did I do today? I created a company, I created a company code, and then I went to the global settings, and then I changed the fiscal, I created a new fiscal variant, fiscal year variant, and I created a new posting period variant. I assigned it to my company code. Okay. So this is a very important global settings in financial accounting. With that, next session, we will go and look at the document number ranges and how we can post a document. Okay, so what I want you to do is from yesterday's session, Kevin, you still have to do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll have a session tomorrow, and also create your own company codes, and then set up your global parameters, fiscal year variant, posting period variant, and everything. Okay.
Say that one more time. Make sure I got it.
Okay, so sure. So you know you have something from yesterday, right?
Right. Exactly.
And then you finish them all, which means the org structure, and then posting 10 documents. Okay. And then from today, create a company code. Okay. And then, you know, look at the global parameters and then set up a fiscal year variant, set up a posting period variant, and then make sure you assign them to the company code. Okay. And then tomorrow we'll go into the further details. Next step.
Okay. Fiscal year, posting year variance, assign the company code, and create a company.
Right. And then fiscal year variant and posting period variant.
Cool. So we create a company is creating a company code. If we did is copying it.
Exactly. You copy them. Okay. Yes. Okay.
Got it.